Hey guys, welcome back to the James Bond Show. I'm your host, Krazy Kajeevie, with no fears, limits, or substitutes. Guys, thank you so much for being patient with me as I took a few days off from the James Bond Show, a previous video on the new James Bond poster, and my Farewell to Pat video explains why I took a little time away from here. I just want to thank all the lovely messages from people. I know Pat's widow also saw the video and she was chuffed by it, and I'm sure that Claire has read all the comments, the lovely comments from you guys. So thank you so much to everyone that thought to do that. That was really beautiful. He was a wonderful, kind man and an incredible actor. And I went back and I watched Safe House within 24-hour period of hearing the news that Patrick was no longer with us, and brought tears to my eyes that his performance in Safe House is incredible. It's my short film. Safe House is my short film that Pat was in, and it's one film that I can sit back and look at it and go, wow, that is an incredible film. And yeah, I made it. So it's stunning. It's so beautiful. It's professional. And it was such an incredible experience of months and months of planning, and then several years of putting it out there in film festivals and emails between me and Pat and talking and planning for the feature film version. And I wrote the entire feature film version script. We changed it from the title Safe House, obviously because of the Denzel Washington film came out and took that title. So we changed it to Sons of Abraham, and I wrote that screenplay to stage of 4 drafts, all with Patrick in mind for the lead role. And I remember Pat said to me once, he said, Steve, Hollywood aren't going to let me do this film, or what if, all the money comes on board and then they won't let me, have the lead in the film because if I'm not a name at the time. And I said, Pat, you are going to be the lead in it. You are going to have that role. And if anyone said that you're not to be cast in it, we ain't taking their money. And it's going to be my film and you are my lead and you're going to be in this and you're going to be incredible. But alas, that now can never happen. Okay, guys. God bless you. I'll always love you, Pat. Amazing guy. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so James Bond show. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Billie Eilish coming out and saying that Michael B. Jordan should be the next James Bond. That's made headlines all around the world. Now, Billie Eilish was on a show called Capital Breakfast, a radio show called Capital Breakfast, and she was asked, who do you think could be the next James Bond? And she said, honestly, man, like Michael B. Jordan would kill that shit. And that's her. That's Billie Eilish. That's a typical swearing. Every word is swearing with her, and it's like, man, like, ah. So she believes that Michael B. Jordan should be the next James Bond. And then she says, no, like, seriously, he would kill it. Okay, what do I think, before I get into Billie's comments and what I think of Billie saying that, what do I think of Michael B. Jordan, the actor? Now, of course, he played the villain in Black Panther, and he is Creed in the Rocky series. Now, admittedly, from memory, that's all I've seen him in. I've seen Creed, I've got it on DVD, I've got Creed 2, and I've got Black Panther, and I've seen those 3 films. What do I think of Michael B. Jordan? I think he's incredible. I think he's one actor I could watch him. Like, every time he's on screen, I think he's fantastic. I really do. So again, there's no racism here at all. He's incredible. One of my all-time favorite actors, and someone I could just watch no matter how bad the film is, and he's made some bad ones, is Eddie Murphy. I love Eddie Murphy, and I play Beverly Hills Cop 1, 2, and sometimes 3 so often. I've got the trilogy set, and Morgan Freeman, wow, especially in The Shawshank Redemption. So, but my all-time favorite black actor is Denzel Washington. I could watch that man. Could walk out in a bathrobe and I could watch him. He's just so mesmerizing. So that's what I think of Michael B. Jordan. I think he's a phenomenal actor, and he's also American as well. So what do I think of Billie Eilish's comment? I just think this is absolute crap once again. It's more garbage that she's speaking, and I think that Eon have truly let the hen into, or the, sorry, has let, I'm tired. Eon, I'm going to start again. Eon have let the fox into the hen house on this, and the fox is going after the chickens. So we've got this #1 song now, and I think apparently it's the second #1 in UK for a Bond song after Sam Smith. So I thought Duran Duran went to #1. Maybe it went to #5. I'll have to check my details on that one. I'm sure someone in the comment section will leave that comment, but I'll look it up just in case. Anyway, so what do I think of Billie Eilish's comments once again? I think it's insensitive to the true British James Bond fans. That's what Ian Fleming's James Bond. He's a white British imperial agent. And to cast an American and to cast a black and African American man as James Bond, I've said this ad nauseum, you completely wipe out James Bond's history. You wipe out his literal history. He just becomes an action hero. Hang on, guys. Yep, you got to see me sneeze. Excuse me. Gesundheit. Okay, so let's get around that one. Oh, this video is going to have everything in it. Homages to beloved friends passed away, sneezing, and whatever else. and apparently hens in the hen house eating the foxes. Okay, guys, back at it. Hey, James Bond show is very different, and it's always raw and real. So this is a girl that has no understanding or appreciation of what Ian Fleming created. And Eon are bringing her audience in, so it's most likely that they will look at this and that they will look at turning James Bond into a black character. Now, what a lot of YouTube channels out there, now, none of the Bond community YouTube channels dared touch this. Not one of them. Not one of the James Bond channels touched on the fact, and correct me if I'm wrong, touched on the fact that Barbara Broccoli said James Bond could be any colour. That's what she said. Now, people out there got excited and said, see, Barbara Broccoli's good. She said that Bond can't be female. What she said is James Bond can be a man, played by a man of any colour, but he can't be female. Well, that's obvious he can't be female unless his penis turns into a vagina. But she said that Bond could be a man of any colour. She absolutely assassinated the entire history of James Bond and what that character is. And for people to turn around, left-wing snowflake morons to turn around and say, oh, well, Black Panther needs to be black because he's from Wakanda. Well, James Bond is from imperialistic age England. He is the creation of Ian Fleming, which was based on parts of Fleming's life and people like Biffy Dunderdale, who were white. It was written from a white man's perspective. It literally is like going and making Shaft a Mexican or making Shaft an albino. Why don't we go and find an albino actor and cast him as Shaft or cast him as Black Panther? Macaulay Culkin as Black Panther. How would black audiences feel? They would feel disgusted, and that is exactly how James Bond fans, white fans, black fans, everything, all sorts of fans from all across the world would feel if James Bond's cast with a black actor just to crowbar in some kind of acceptance and virtue signaling to people that don't even go and see James Bond films. They don't care about James Bond. Does Billie Eilish, does she have a James Bond novel? And then she comes out, she gets the gig. Oh, I've always been a, James Bond fan. Oh, bullcrap, Billie. You wouldn't have even heard of James Bond probably until you got that phone call from Barbara Broccoli. And I bet my bollocks to a barn door, you have never, ever read a James Bond novel or probably never watched a James Bond film up until you got that phone call. I will bet anything on that. So people like her need to consider the fans and need to really honestly shut up, because it's garbage. And Barbara Broccoli needs to have balls and come out and say James Bond is Ian Fleming's character. He's a white British male, and we're happy to create other characters, and we would love to see other great black characters up on screen, as I would. You know, there's great action. I've talked about this before, 80s action film, and I love it. It's so corny but cool. And Action Jackson, played by Carl Weathers, who incidentally was Apollo Creed in the Rocky films, of course. And Michael B. Jordan plays his son in these new films. So Carl Weathers played Action Jackson. Why not go and have Michael B. Jordan as Action Jackson? Why not? Though I think, I reckon Idris Elba would be a cool Action Jackson. He would be a cool Action Jackson. He's just got to get the American accent right. Get the big tash growing a bit longer instead of that little dinky one he has going. So guys, what do you think? Be open, be honest. This isn't about racism, so please don't come at me, you left-wing snowflakies out there trolling the channel and giving us your crap about racism. It's not racist to want someone playing Bruce Lee to be Chinese. It's not racist to want a white British actor playing James Bond. And so what if they have blonde hair, or they're from England? They're white. They need to look like a British person. That's plain and simple. So people go, oh, but Ian Fleming didn't create Bond with blonde hair. Daniel Craig had blonde hair. Who cares? He still played the part as a white British person. And in the Daniel Craig films, more than any other actors' Bond films, they pushed his heritage. Skyfall, him in Scotland, they even showed the graves of Andrew Bond, his father, and Monique Delacroix, his mother. So again, these people coming out with, oh, but he had blonde hair. Stop speaking crap. He still played the literal interpretation with the heritage of the white British agent with a Swiss background, Scottish background, British background, all pushed. And that is Bond. He is that Eton Toff, Sandhurst train type guy, just as Katie Hopkins spoke about in a fantastic video she did that I recommend you all watch. If you just put into YouTube, Katie Hopkins - Idris Elba, or Why Idris Elba Can't Be Bond, watch that. It is fantastic. Guys, thank you so much for joining me here and putting up with this crazy video today. And it's good to be back, and I'd love to know your comments. Now, if you're new to the channel, thank you so much, guys. Please do drop a thumbs up, supports the channel, and of course, subscribe. Until next time, keep on bonding and say hi to your mum for me.
Do I look black to you? I'm James Bond. Son of a bitch, wanna make me black? I'm white.